Finally, we've been over 2 weeks battling with my PC restarting, blue screens, terrible. I couldn't play any game. I don't know if the solution was reinstalling Windows or maybe the latest Nvidia drivers. You let me know if you were also getting some issues, and now it is finally fixed. In any case, we are back, and let me know, what would you like to see? Should I do an LG C1 firmware update and check out if there are any issues? I don't think so. Honestly, at this point, there shouldn't be any problems or differences. I also wanted to compare the LG C1 with BFI, with OLED Motion Pro, with this 360 Hz QD-OLED when it comes to motion, to see truly if the C1 can keep up with 360 Hz. Let me know if you would like to see any HDR related videos with the new games that we have. I did try Kingdom Come Deliverance, Reno DX HDR. Well, Gaming Tech already covered that. But let me know if there is any HDR related videos you would like to see. I also wanted to do a dedicated video to explain once again, but hopefully this time do the best version. Explain the Blur Busters law. Do a summary to increase awareness. I think I can do a better job now. So let me know, what would you like to see? I mean, after a week without making any videos, I am rusty right now. It is hard to go back on track with the channel. But yeah, I can finally play because if I cannot play, I cannot make videos. You see, I cannot test the game. So for me, it's very difficult to make a video when I'm having issues and I cannot even use my PC. But right now, I intentionally make this game a crash, which is not very difficult. If you just max out all the ray tracing and you start changing settings up and down and going in and out of full screen borderless, you go to desktop and you start using lossless scaling and doing interpolation, it's gonna crash at some point. But no blue screens, my PC was not restarting. And I have to say that I definitely notice now my performance is a lot more stable than it was before. Like, I'm getting a lot less, almost none of those micro stutters. Well, talking about it, I'm dropping some frames, but it is not, it's just a performance hit, but it's not micro stuttering. Like, sometimes what was happening also is I was getting like a stutter, evenly spaced on time, and I had to change from full screen to borderless back and forth to fix that, and sometimes it was not fixed. So I was having a bunch of issues, and I think it's now fixed. So yeah, let me know, what would you like to see maybe this weekend. Tomorrow I'll be busy, but this weekend I wanted to take down the C1. The C1 is on one of my rooms, so I have to take it down here to make a video. Of course, I am no longer using the C1. The family is using it. I have the 65-inch S90D, and I have this monitor. But the C1 is still very special, especially for that OLED Motion Pro High. And definitely, once I get the 5090, I'm definitely going to use the C1 a little bit, because I should be able to lock the frame rate to 120, like I'm doing right now. But of course, a 4K is more difficult to do that. So the C1 is not dead for the channel, but I already covered the C1 so many times. So I'm dropping frames, so I will have to lower the settings on this one. So I was testing this contrast. Don't copy this. I lowered this so the game looks good on the recording. I use the contrast at the default 50. but on camera it's difficult to record this. Well, it seems like I'm gonna have to lower the settings because the performance dropped there. Well, yeah, it never ends. Maybe I have to lower the LOD a little bit. So yeah, let me know what would you like to see. Again, I want to get back on track making regular videos. It has been over a week with these issues. We keep the channel alive with the live streams. So thank you very much for everyone who tune into the live streams. Very important to keep the engagement on the channel, because then YouTube just kills your channel. It will punish you very, very strongly if you don't keep up with the content. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. What would you like to see? I am not completely out of the loop. I know there's a GTA 5 a remake, or no, it's not a remaster, but yeah, some improvements to GTA 5 coming. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. I mean, I beat GTA 5 like 5 times, 4 or 5 times at least. It's one of my favorite games, but I don't know I'm gonna beat it again. But I'm looking forward to it because I think what they are doing is, because they are working on GTA 6, they want to try GTA 5 with GTA 6 graphics or technology to see, what are the problems that arise so they can fix it using GTA 5 as a beta for GTA 6. Because you never know, once you include ray tracing, all that stuff, depending on the configuration that people have, if you're gonna start seeing some problems, or maybe some Intel GPUs or AMD. So I think that's what's going on. They don't really care that much about increasing the graphics of GTA 5. The game is successful as it is. If anything, it would be a detriment. Actually, they will keep the original GTA 5 graphics and everything working, and when you play online, you would play with the same version. So people who are using the latest version of GTA 5 can only play with the people using the latest version. So they know. So I think it's very interesting, very, very interesting to test that. See what is the HDR. They should definitely add HDR, like they did on consoles. So yeah, let's see how that goes. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, which kind of content or which videos would you like me to do to go back and track. Oh, today I had a video call with a friend that has the Asus 32-inch QD-OLED 4K 240 Hertz. Is the Asus ACDM or UCDM, something like that. The best, basically the best QD OLED monitor, I think, we have right now. And I got familiar with the settings. Not that I remember all of them, but my friend was complaining that the colors were looking like blown out, like super like wild. And there was a setting, I think it was called vivid setting, that was set to 60. And on the description of that setting was saying something like, juiced up colors and sharpness and all of that. I'm like, yeah, turn that down to 0, and that fixed the problem. Very interesting, that monitor has 120 BFI, and we test that, and it is exactly that. You get 120 FPS. You have to change the monitor to 120 Hertz, turn off VRR, you turn that ELMB on. It only works on SDR, which is a shame. And you basically get 240 like motion. Very interesting. It is a very lazy implementation of BFI, and my friend didn't like it at all. My friend was like, yeah, not interested. That's why the feature doesn't have a good reputation, because they just do a very lazy implementation. You lose a ton of brightness. Like my S90D and S90C with BFI, they are almost dimmer than the C1 with BFI. That is crazy because when you are not using that, the difference in brightness is just absolutely monumental. So for them to be very close in brightness with 60 BFI, it just shows you that BFI is not the way to go for OLEDs. You need something like a rolling scan, like a CRT simulation or something similar to what the LG C1 does. That's why the feature doesn't have a good reputation. That's why people would not pay for it. That's why these companies don't focus on it. So I think it is like a vicious cycle. These companies don't care because people don't like it, but the reason people don't like it and people don't care is because what they are delivering is trash. So I am sure if this, something like this, 360 Hz 1440p comes with the CRT simulation at a hardware level, fine-tuned to get the, with all the settings to trade brightness for clarity, and the gamma looks right, so you don't see, when you turn on the feature, everything doesn't look dark, and people will love the feature. Guarantee you. There's no way, because, for example, this game, I'm getting 120 FPS barely with frame generation, okay? So with a feature like that, I don't even need 120. I could try to lock the frame rate to 70 or 80 frames, and then use something like that to boost the clarity, 2, 3, 4x. Even at 60, I could get the motion clarity of 360, which would be fantastic. Everyone would love that. I mean, you might see the brightness loss, but if you have settings to adjust that and get more brightness with less motion clarity, you can get it looking the way you'll be okay with, basically. So if these companies were to implement something great when it comes to flickering technologies to improve the motion, people would like it, and the feature would earn a very good reputation. So that was just something that I wanted to throw out there because my friend didn't like it. I mean, I didn't have the monitor in front of me to see how dim it was or how unimpressive with that feature was. My friend was like, yeah, it's not. I'm not using that. I mean, I'm not even interested in. Yeah, I might try it one day, but it's not. It's not something that I would consider. So yeah, but the monitor. Let's see what else I can tell you. The monitor had a lot of settings, a lot more than this MSI monitor. The other thing that we noticed was if you change, in case you have that monitor, the Asus, again, it's the Asus QD-OLED 32-inch 4K. I think is the UCDM model. I forgot exactly. But you know the one I'm talking about. It's basically the best QD-OLED monitor on the market right now. The monitor had a HDR 400 mode, and then the peak 1000 nits mode was not called peak 1000, was called game HDR or something like that. But we did test that with the HDR calibration app, and it was clipping like at 1070, something like that. He was the one who tested the clipping point, so that's what he got, 1070. And the issue we found was if you are on SDR on that monitor and you change the color gamut to sRGB, so it clamps the colors so you don't get overly saturated colors, then if you turn on HDR, you have the color space clamp. So you have to go back to SDR, change the color gamut to wide color gamut, and then go back to HDR. So that should work automatically. When you change to HDR, it should be wide color gamut. There's no reason on HDR to have the color gamut clamp. So that is definitely an oversight from Asus. So maybe someone doesn't notice, and then is playing without HDR color, which is a shame. So that was, things that caught my attention was that. So basically what we did was, for SDR, set it to sRGB gamma 2.2. You have both options, so sRGB color space and gamma 2.2, and then open a color clipping pattern on SDR, and then increase the contrast. I think he maxed out the contrast. I don't remember exactly. I think he maxed out the contrast, and then the color saturation slider, he set that to 71. I don't remember exactly, but basically with that color clipping pattern, I told him increase that until you see that the colors are clipping, and then go back one click so you see it flashing. Make sure it is flashing. So yeah, that was, and then we tested near black, and near black test pattern, he said that it was perfectly visible. All the bars were perfectly visible, but he was not in a dark room, so that's very, very, very difficult to. He would have to wait until the night comes for that. So yeah, we check out that monitor. I mean, if you have a question that I cannot answer on a live stream or here on this video, I can reach out to my friend and ask him, and maybe I can ask him to take some pictures of the menu, and I might do a video and compare the options that Asus monitor has with this MSI monitor, for example, or something like that. Hopefully we can get an Asus contact to see if we can get one of those monitors. I would definitely like to have a 32-inch 4K QD-OLED monitor. I think that is that's a very good setup. I would also like to have an ultra wide, like a 34-inch, but we have now 34-inch 1440p QD-OLED. I would like to get it, to like with 2160 vertical resolution. That would be better. Like a 5K ultra wide, that would be great. I think that's coming soon. So, but yeah, I would like to have everything basically, so I can give you more. When it comes to knowledge, like if you have any questions, I can tell you. Not that I'm gonna use all of that. I mean, I can only play in one display. And if you ask me, the best display for me to play is the big TV, big 65-inch TV. That's always gonna win. The size is king, and the HDR on the TV is better too. So that's a double win for the TV. But for these monitors, I definitely like to try them, and I'm looking forward to the 500 Hz 1440p QD OLED coming this year. I already told MSI, hey, I want that monitor for review, please. Even if I have to turn it back, that'll be okay. I'm looking forward to that monitor a lot, and yeah, whatever comes up. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. What would you like to see? I'm rusty, so hopefully we can go back and make some good content. As you can see, the game is running very well. I was getting some drops. Yeah, see, it's dropping a little bit. I have to tweak the settings. The game is very, very, very demanding. Yeah, I'm getting more drops than what I was getting before I started recording. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it never ends. When it comes to tweaking the settings and going up and down, I'm not happy with lowering the level of detail. But yeah, there's something here that is not. I think maybe this game has like a memory leakage or something, because right now I think it's using more RAM and more VRAM than what I was using before. So that lowers the performance over time. So I think if I close the game and open it again, I get better performance, because the performance was a lot better than this. I was not getting any drops, and now it is dropping all the time. So yeah, it is never perfect. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.